Yes, people, and welcome back to What's Going On podcast and Normski TV. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. And we have a lot to talk about. I think we might as well just call this show the Man United Saga Show because what's gone on in the last week or so is absolutely crazy. Man U, boy, they sound like a dusty club right now. I thought Arsenal were bad, but bro, Man U, they're just as Big D said. One of our chat is United Gate. It's like that's all it is. All the stuff that's coming out with regards to Sancho, now Anthony, and even your ex-players, Pogba. What's going on? I don't know, bro. But listen, we have a lot to talk about, and so we're gonna commence with the show. So again, please hit that like button and subscribe and share if you are new. We're going to bring in Mr. Let's just do this first. We're going to bring in Mr. Big D. And hopefully we'll have a few more guests with us. They haven't said they're coming on. I know Chile is sunning himself in the motherland. Not picking those. I don't know if he's watching from... I think he's in JA. So if that's why we're talking about the motherland. Could be Africa, we don't know. Depends. It's looking like JA, man. I know you put in your orders for your jerk chicken and some other bits and pieces. He sent a picture. It looks like he's having a great time over there. I don't know how long he's out there for, but he may tune in from the warm climates of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying there, bro? Yeah. But how you doing, Mr. Big D? How you doing?
I'm all right, matey. I'm all right. Had my birthday weekend and all that, so
yes.
I had an extended time ramping.
Yeah, man. Happy belated birthday. Yeah. I did say it to you last week, so on the day, the actual day. Yeah. So big up to you. Happy birthday to you. It's good, and good thanks for another year. Another year, and also, myself celebrating my 32nd anniversary.
Yes, my brother. Well done, my friend. Well done.
So that's 7th of September. So another year, another dollar, as I say. But no, it's all good. It's all good. But there's a lot to talk about, Big D, since last week. We've also had the international break, which I don't know why they bring it so early into the season, with 4 games in, and then they break it up, with the international games. And it is what it is. I didn't really watch much, saw some results coming through.
Yeah, just highlights, you know what I mean? I just checked out some of the Brazil highlights and stuff.
I didn't see any of the Brazil game, to be honest.
No, I just watched the highlights, you know what I mean? Just time differences and all the rest of it.
I did manage to catch a little bit of the highlights of the England game yesterday. Although it was a friendly against Scotland, one of the oldest international games going back since whenever, 1700s, or whenever football started.
A long time, isn't it?
Online, it's a long time. It was a long time, and England came out 3-1 winners. And what a game by Jude Bellingham. Mate, that guy's a player. He's doing bits for Real Madrid as well. You know what I mean?
He settled it very quickly there.
Absolutely.
He settled it very quickly, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
I mean, I don't know how many goals he's scored, but for a midfielder, I'm sure it's in the region of about 4 or 5 goals, if not. It might be 6. I know it's definitely more than 3. I think it's about 4 or 5 goals he's scored since going over there. I think in his first 3 or 4 games he's scored. So which is really good.
Yeah, because it immediately takes the pressure off him, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people just say, he's like he was always been there, which is actually
that's what people are saying.
You move country, you move home, a new club, pressure of that club, and you just slot straight in. He'd always been there. It's kind of wild to watch.
Yeah, that was it. 5 goals. Big up to you, Craig. What do you say, brother?
Yes, Craig.
Big goals. I knew it was something around that, but he's on exceptional form right now.
That's kind of ridiculous, really, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. A midfielder as well. You know what I mean? talking about generational. Could he be generational? Some people saying he's as good as Paul Scholes. You know, and Paul Scholes we know was a baller. You know what I mean? But he's got so much attributes to his game. I mean, I was watching him last night, especially for he set up the goal and scored the goal. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He was, you know, dancing on the edge of the 18-yard box. Played it to I can't remember who was 1-2 with. Flicked it back to him, and then he arrived in the box and bang, straight in there. Yes, Craig. Yeah, you know, straight in there. And so the man of the match.
He can kind of do it all. He can tackle. He can progress the ball forward. He can put his laces through
He's
it.
all round.
He's
an all-rounder. All-rounder.
I think that's why a lot of clubs wanted this guy, you know, including us. I mean, everybody wanted this guy. He wasn't like, I don't fancy him, but the price tag was wild, wasn't
it? Do you think he will probably spend the rest of his career? He's young. Do you think he'll spend the rest of his career at Real Madrid, or do you think there might be a kind of big move in the future back to England to maybe say a Man City?
The thing is, he may come back here around 28, 29, but I think he's going to give them his best years. I think.
Yeah.
I think they'll look after him. You know, he'll probably give them his best years, but at 28, 29, he's still going to have a lot to offer if he looks after his body, which I think he
does.
You know, injuries and all the rest of it. You know, but in general, I think he may come home to finish off. You know what I mean?
No, he's an absolute talent. You know, plying his trade in, you know, coming through the ranks in Birmingham. You know what I mean? And I think I think he had to surrender. I can't remember what number shirt he had there, but he had to surrender that shirt when he played for Birmingham. Yeah, when he, you know, obviously when he left Birmingham City, but you know, what a player! What a player he is.
Because he's his younger brother. His younger brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it Job? Is it Job?
Yeah. I think.
He's at Sunderland.
I'm not seen his brother play, but mate, if he's any after talent as
his older brother,
he'll definitely go a long way. You know
but the thing is, once they sack Southgate, he'll probably get a captain's armband.
Mate, listen, talking about Southgate, he was defending your great defender, Mr. Maguire.
Always.
Another calamity own goal. Albeit it was a friendly, but he comes on and look, the knives are out on Maguire right now, and some of it is his own doing. You know, the fact that he didn't want to leave Man United,
and that's the thing, isn't it?
Or you know, it's crazy.
That's the thing, Norm. Harry could have been playing regular football. I think he gets into that West Ham team and he starts every week, and he still chose to stay at a club that he knows is not going to start in the week. So,
what is it? 4th, 5th choice? Yeah, for you guys.
When everyone's fit,
yeah. But the only reason why he came on, and I mean, last week was just the penultimate. You know, to bring on in 2023 Johnny Evans and Maguire, your 5th choice, and the fact that as Craig is saying, these guys don't get no game times for their clubs, but Southgate is still playing these guys. And how is it that it's unfair on other players that are playing regularly for their clubs and not getting a look in? You look at Foden, Foden doesn't start. He started this game. He doesn't fancy him. He scored yesterday.
You have to remember, Norm. In the last tournament, fan pressure forced him to play Jack Grealish. Right. He was never going to give Jack much minutes, but the fans, the media demanded it.
Big up sentiments, brother. Good.
Yeah, big himself, man. So he had to just humble himself and put Jack on. Yeah. I mean, the game screaming out for Jack, and Foden is a bad man. He's a gunman again, and for him not to get a start in the England squad. You got to look at this manager and say,
"No, seriously, man. I mean,
stop it."
You know, listen. There's big up to you, Jay.
Yes, Jay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
You're probably either at work or you're on your own way home from work. But make sure you're not driving while you're sending messages. Yeah, you're breaking the law, my sis. Yeah. But anyway, you say Big D. Yeah.
I just feel like he's a fraud now, Norm. And unless Phillips and Maguire have got receipts on this manager, I don't get how they're starting over Premier League players or even players abroad that are playing regularly for their teams, man. You got to look at that and say, but then he's a yes man manager. So the FA they wouldn't be looking to move him on because he does what he's told. There's no kickbacks and there's no I'm being my own man. I'm picking the squad I feel because if he picks the squad that he feels can dominate a tournament, England should go far in every tournament with that current squad.
Yeah,
but you know that he won't. You know that he won't. He'll play very defensive. And expect Harry to make miracles.
I mean, listen. One of my agenda items. We can start on that. That's it. We can start on that, and that's could Pep become the GOAT if he won England the World / European Cup? Do you think he would become the greatest of all time managers if he took over? There was talk about, listen, if Southgate steps down, that the FA would be looking at Pep, and I think
but he's his own man.
That current, say that again.
Pep's his own man. He's not going to jump through the FA hoops. And I know that,
but I'm saying if the scenario is that if he was to take this current side, Southgate is managing, you look at the quality in this side. So I'm saying is if he was to take, there you go, who should get the next England job after Southgate? That's the question. So maybe Craig has been reading my notes, but listen, if Pep, I mean, listen, there's loads of good managers out there. I suppose if Pep, say for argument's Pep wins it again, wins the Premier League, does another treble, surely you say, you know what?
The thing is, if he does that,
if
he does that, he should walk away, shouldn't he? Really, he shouldn't take play.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If he does another treble this season, and walks away, England literally should go to the government and say, we need some federal reserves to hire Pep. But Pep would not.
Craig say Pep would not take the England job.
I'm saying because he's his own man, and England will try to tell him what to do, and he won't have it.
Yeah,
but it would be interesting.
Who else would be, up to take England? I mean, listen, I know at the moment, Eddie Howe's not doing too well with Newcastle at the moment. He's under a lot of pressure. And would he be somebody that you would look at to because he plays progressive football, plays a nice brand of football. Do you think he could get a lot more? He could get a lot more out of this team than what Southgate? Because as I say, Southgate is a defender by trade, and very cautious and very pragmatic. And sometimes he just needs to let these guys off the leash.
I'm about to say to you, just let the handbrake off and let these guys play football, man.
Yeah,
he can't be that hard. You know what I mean? But someone like Eddie Howe, but then it's another failed manager.
What about Wenger? Would you give it Wenger?
Would Wenger take it though? He's such a hardcore Frenchman. Would he take that England job?
I'm not
convinced.
Write himself in the history books.
You know what
I mean? Can you imagine that?
The thing is, he's so rigid. I think them players would hate him long. I think it'd be like giving Ferguson that job. There's literally zero nonsense with Wenger and Fergie, and I'm not sure them young players could relate to them. As it'd be interesting. That would be a scenario, but that's what I feel like. That the way they're rigid, like Pep, them three are so rigid that they're not going to jump through the FA hoop, and the younger players may not appreciate that level of management. You know what I mean? Like Foden. Foden started work for Man City, not because he ain't good enough, because the Pep is so picky at everything, and rotates in a smart way that even Foden can't say, I'm guaranteed to be one of the first names on the team sheet because I play for England or whatever. It doesn't really work like that.
Yeah.
And I think Wenger and Fergie would be of the same ilk, where they'd see the talent, know what to do with it, and not do what the FA want, do what they want. So to get a senior manager to go into that England job, I'm just not convinced. Eddie Howe probably would be a good shout. You know what I mean? But then, I think Eddie wants to do good things with wants to do good things with Newcastle before.
Yeah,
Before
I mean, but at the moment, he hasn't really made a good start. Apart from the first win, he's lost 3 games on the bounce. Is he under a bit of pressure? Because they've not spent the kind of money that we've spent. They've spent money, but because obviously they've got this ownership that's loaded.
That's got money.
The most clubs. So are they going to look at it for hang on a minute? Because they're sitting what was it about? Is it 15th, 16th in the league, something like that?
Oh, they're that low. Probably as low as us.
It's something like that. If somebody could just tell us where they are in the league,
probably
so they've only got 3 points, and they basically won their first game and lost three on a row.
Right. Yeah.
So I think they're sitting around about the 15th, 16th. Mourinho, it's another shout, Craig. Yeah, Mourinho's another shout.
Yeah, they're 14th.
14th, okay.
3 point, a 0 goal difference.
Right.
After 4 games, so
yeah.
Way off the pace.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Considering how they were last season, do you know what I mean? And I suppose on top of that as well, with Champions League now, and they're in a group of death as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's going to be tough. Yeah.
Imagine already, then they're 9 points behind Man City.
Yeah.
9 points already.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. What about this shout? What about this shout? Jose Mourinho.
Another one known. He won't jump for their hoops, mate.
Yeah.
Graham. Let's hope it won't be Graham Potter. Graham. It's not.
What about Frank Lampard? Apparently, he's taking over the Lyon job.
If Frank gets that,
England he's taking over. This is what I hear, mate. That's crazy. Do they watch this guy? Have they watched what he's done with Chelsea?
Frankie and Derby. Frankie Lampard, mate.
But listen, to be honest, he done okay with Derby. That's where he ended up getting the Chelsea job. But listen, 2 failed times at Chelsea. Come on, man.
Yeah. Frankie, I wouldn't. I mean, Graham Potter's not a bad shout,
Yeah, I mean,
I actually think he was just. He reminded me of David Moyes coming to United when he went to Chelsea. I think just out of depth a little bit, and he didn't react quick enough when the ship was sinking. He didn't switch it up. Yeah. And I think that I think that's where I think he was a lot of in awe of getting a job, such a massive job, and then obviously it was more or less the owners that were picking the players, and he didn't really have any control whatsoever. Yeah, because from there on in it just went downhill for them. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of club signings rather than Graham Potter signings. Yeah. So straight away it's like, here's a bunch of players, mate. Figure it out. Yeah. Literally, and that's how Chelsea wanted to do that under him. I think someone like a Mourinho, as we've seen, would go to the board and say, "No, pump the brakes." I think Mourinho would want to prove something, just come back. If he did that and won a major tournament, that brother's chest would be so high for the rest of his life. Listen, man, that would be it, mate. He'd be knighted by the king, yeah? Exactly, mate. He'd be Sir Jose Mourinho, mate. They'd do something. The Palace would get involved there for sure. If we took England and won a major tournament. Yeah. But just going back to Southgate, though, I mean, as I said, he's picking, the likes of Harry Maguire and Calvin Phillips, and they're not getting any game. And I don't know. I mean, when he first came to the job, he said that he would pick players that were on form. And that were regularly playing for their team. Now, I think there was a press conference that they had with him some time back, and he kind of hit back at them and was basically saying, like, even though players that are not playing regularly, he didn't want to mess up the what was the word he used, like because obviously they're kind of quite close knit in terms of the team and everything. He didn't want to kind of mess, synergy, chemistry, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But you're saying you don't want to mess up the chemistry. But if you've got a player, especially Maguire, performing as he is, and you're going into big tournaments, and he's your weak link. Why are you using that excuse? Well, the thing is now, because of our injuries, he's probably going to get a lot more minutes now. Unfortunately, so hopefully he can play himself into form for us, which is a wild thing to say, but the Old Trafford crowd is savage. and one mistake, and they're going to jump on this guy.
Well, they're booing him already, D. They're booing him. I mean, in that game, the Scottish. I mean, we was giving him banter when he came. We cheered when he came on at the Emirates. The Scottish fans, every time he touched the ball, they're going, "Oi, oi!" I'm thinking, "Oh my god!"
Because
and they lit up on this guy.
Because the thing is, right, like whether you want to admit it or not, there is a form of bullying there. You know, in a sense of he comes on. We know he's not match fit. And so straight away, he's already nervous on the ball. And then the fans come at him, you know, like if he, you know, a loose pass or a bad control of the ball, or he gets skinned and gives away a cheap foul. They're just on all the time.
I mean, you've got a Nana in his first game, right? Barking at him. You know what I mean?
Completely like throwing the whole towel at him.
He must be thinking, what's going on, man? You
know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, give me a break.
But normally, there's a level of self-awareness or lack of on his part. Because if West Ham are coming for you, United are going to drop you a light 7 mil. Let that sink in. A light 7 mil to walk to another job that is paying you 150k a week.
And they're going to give him the armband as well.
Yeah, and you say no. Come on, man. Like, who's advising this guy? So some people will say, no, D, the abuse he's getting or the banter he's getting is warranted because he's greedy and arrogant. Others will say, oh, it's a form of bullying, leave him alone. Blah, 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 blah. So it's like, but his people around him just say, Harry, like, go to West Ham, take the 7 mil, cut your losses. It didn't quite work out for you. This manager does not fancy you. Go and be the big shot at West Ham on 150k a week. No, come on, bro. But you still wanted 15 grand from United to go over there. Come on, man, get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, someone was trying to compare this to Frankie de Jong at Barcelona, not wanting to leave his money. But it was different because Frankie took a pay cut to help Barcelona out.
Okay.
Harry's never took a pay cut at Old Trafford. He sat on the bench on that money for the last 18
Let me just bring in Mr. Kofi Klopp. What do you say, bro?
Good evening, gents.
Brother.
How you doing, bro?
You say, Coach?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good,
what's the hot topic?
Don't worry, we're coming to that, bro. We're coming to that. But question here from Craig. He says, if Pep wins another treble, would you say he's the greatest manager of all time? For me, Alex Ferguson right now, as it stands, is above him.
Yeah, still Alex, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he wins another treble right now, it's like
if he does another treble, if he does another treble,
he's done a cup treble.
Yeah,
he's done
he's done a cup treble in another country, isn't he? Yeah,
and he's done a proper treble. So
So if he does another one, he's at the Fergie table. And if he keeps winning,
he's sitting with them. He's sitting with them.
Well, he's probably at the Fergie table now because he's done a treble.
Right. So,
if he does a second treble,
and
then he continues to win another 2 or 3, people are going to say, Fergie didn't do that.
Okay.
And as well as keep winning the Champions League. I mean,
but
Fergie won 2. Yeah, Fergie won 2 Champions Leagues. Pep's won 1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Fergie won 2. Pep's won 1. So if Pep's in the treble, they're either on Champions League.
No, Fergie won 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, 2. That's what I said here, 2.
Yeah.
And Pep's won the 1. If he does it again, he's done 2 trebles, which include 2 Champions Leagues. Yeah. So a lot of people are going to say he's edging Fergie now. Not in the case of domestically.
Okay, so listen. With all the Premier Leagues that Fergie has won, do you think with him winning, as you said, with him winning another? Because right now, man, how many titles of Premier Leagues have Man City got now?
I think
is it 4? No, 5. 5.
It's 5.
Is it 5
or 6?
Under Pep.
Under Pep.
Under Pep. Hold on.
Because remember, Mancini's won 1. Pellegrino's won.
Pellegrino's won 1, hasn't he? So I think
I think they've won. I think they've won. Is it 6 times?
So they've won 7 in total.
Right, 7 total.
5 under Pep.
5 under Pep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so including
the one that's just
one
won,
just done. Yeah. So he's gone 5 and 1 Champions League in this country. Fergie went 13 and 2 Champions Leagues, right? Is it 13?
Yeah, I think it's
13
titles.
Yeah, Fergie won 30 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues. And Pep will be 5-1 at the moment.
Right. So, but are we saying?
And they both won trebles. Both won trebles.
Right. But so what you're saying, the fact that Fergie's won 13 Premier Leagues, because we're now in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He goes and wins another treble.
Yeah.
Back to back, Remember, he's really done the back to back.
That can't happen, No, that can't happen.
But then the thing is, there's
he's done a free. He's done a free.
There's no other.
He's done a free already. Free P, isn't he? He's won the Premier League 3 times in a row, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So he goes and does it again. That's 4 times in a row. And if he does the treble, do you say that outweighs what Fergie's done? Think about it, guys.
Well,
I say if he does quadruple sets it apart.
Ferguson wins a title with. Yeah, he didn't win a title with, but he won Didn't Fergie win a Champions League with one of these guys?
He won it
with Aberdeen.
With Aberdeen.
Yeah,
he did.
He didn't win Champions League with Aberdeen.
No, not Aberdeen.
He won a league title with Aberdeen.
A league title. That's what I'm saying. This is wrong, Craig. I'm sure he's won it. Yeah, this is how he got the Man United job for what he did by leaping Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah,
that's how he got the interview for the Man United job.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, okay, the fact that Fergie did win a title with Aberdeen,
yeah,
and if he sent me, I don't know, but definitely Aberdeen, yeah. I'm saying Pep has won with Barcelona how many times?
Yeah,
and then with Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
But then he's not won Champions League with Bayern Munich, just with Barcelona.
With Barcelona, right? Yeah.
He's won how many Champions League with Barcelona?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Yeah.
So what I'm to say, if we're combining everything,
then you have to put him.
Like I say, it's you're right. Norm. If he does a treble again this season, people are gonna say, nah, you're gonna have to look up. Yeah, it's a different area of football. I get it, but
remember, he won 3 Bundesliga titles. He did 3 trebles.
I know
in the Bundesliga.
In the Bundesliga. All right, some people say people say it's because obviously they've got the most money in that, but
it would have been interesting if Fergie had left United as he did in 2013 and gone somewhere in Spain or Italy.
Yeah.
And
do you think that's another question? That's a good one, actually, D. If
did a domestic treble, and then retired.
No, but all right. My question to you though is: Fergie obviously was absolutely the GOAT when it comes to Man United.
Yeah.
If Fergie had walked away from Man United, say 2012-13, say, and then went to say, I don't know, it would have to be a big club,
like
Barcelona or Real Madrid. Do you think he could have gone there and won a title with them?
Yeah, I think he could have.
With any other player.
Could have. Yeah, I think he could
but
have.
But then I don't know whether, in terms of time frame, for him to transition to a different country, would that have played a big part in him winning?
Yeah, because remember when Pep come, he didn't just win. He didn't win the Premier League straight away, did he?
No, he didn't. No, yeah, he needed a season. What, season or 2? The 2 seasons before he won.
Yeah.
And then you say the language barrier as well. So then you go there with a translator and everything else. Do you get your points across?
The Scottish language is not that bad, actually, D. I can understand it.
You know what I mean? But it's interesting. But if you're being realistic, Pep is probably there now. I think he's shoulder to shoulder with him, just because of what he's done elsewhere before he come to the Premier League. But because everyone hypes up the Premier League as the greatest league in the world, it's only the greatest league in the world if we're winning if one of our teams win the Champions League every season and dominate.
But then the thing is, our teams have been in the Champions League quite a lot of times, to be honest.
And
across
they go
all
deep.
the teams.
Yeah, but so do Barcelona and Real Madrid. So does Inter Milan. So does Bayern Munich. There's a lot of teams that are there or thereabout when it comes to quarterfinals Champions League.
I mean, Arsenal. Look at Arsenal. We qualified what is it, 18, 19 times in a row?
On a row, yeah, exactly.
Didn't get us anywhere. Apart from one final in 2006. And we lost that. Do you know what I mean?
It's hard to win. Everyone says it's easy to win. It's not. The Champions League is not easy to win.
You have to be lucky at some points of the draw.
And so you look at Liverpool. Liverpool have won 6, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal for me, man. That's a big deal because it's hard to win. These teams are not mugs. Once you get to the quarterfinals, you're not playing any teams that you think you can mug off. They're all very tight games, and
But
now
then
with VAR.
the thing is, in modern era, I think United have probably had a better run than Liverpool in the Champions League because obviously they've kind of got to more finals in the modern era.
Yeah. But you have to remember, Fergie got a lot of that Champions League football wrong. As much as he dominated the Premier League, for him to only win 2 Champions Leagues is a little bit of a blemish for me, and that's not disrespecting what he's done in the Premier League, but he should have won more than 2. The way he was dominating the Premier League, he should have won more than 2 Champions Leagues. Because I remember like growing up with my brother sometimes, and we see the lineup, and we're like, why would he have this lineup at home? You're at home, Fergie. You know what I mean? So we were critical of him back in those days, saying, bro, we're trying to win the Champions League here. We're trying to catch Liverpool.
But then
we was always getting Liverpool banter.
Do you think Fergie had the better squad to like a Real Madrid in his time?
Well,
because remember, they had some serious players. They had like some...
Yeah, they did,
Redondos, Ronaldos, and Figos, and all those guys. So,
but then a lot of those guys, Kofi, would talk about Paul Scholes and Roy Keane, like the same. Man, that midfield, they always knew they had a game when they came against that midfield. So there was like a real mutual respect. But I think that Fergie, a bit like Pep, overthought some of those Champions Leagues where you're like, what's this team? What are you doing? And it was really hard to question him because of what he was doing in the Premier League. But I think he got to that European stage and he just got it horribly wrong so many times. And you'd be like, we should have gone to the final here. Not with that squad. You know, like how you say, not with that squad.
Yeah.
So with England, it's not with England, you say, Pep, he's got to win something with that squad. Southgate, with that squad, he's got to win something. And and that's my only blemish on Fergie. 2 Champions Leagues is not enough for how you dominated your league. Your league, it's not enough.
When you think about the amount of Premier League titles and then he's only got 2 to your name.
It don't even say like he won. Just say 13 titles, 5 Champions League. You're like, that's fair enough. You know,
I mean, you look at Real Madrid. Look how they've won.
Yeah, but then it's funny because I watched a documentary about that, and they were saying that some of those ones, some should be chalked off. They were saying some of them were a little bit shady. You know what I mean? But this was Barcelona. This was Barcelona's take on some of the earlier days.
Well, Barcelona will always have a take on Real Madrid.
And I was laughing. But when you listen to the history, you kind of get their point a little bit. Some of it was a little bit, maybe they shouldn't even been in that position to have got to the final because of the way it was done back then. And then when it all came quite rigid and then it went back into the group stages and all that, how it is now, then people found it's more competitive now because of the way they've reformatted it. And now they're going to do it again, aren't they? They're going to change it again, apparently. So
they are. So I can't keep up with it, mate. It comes out. It comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, as I said, I know it maybe is a pipe dream that Pep could take over the England job and win it. But that's what I'm trying to say. If he did do that, after maybe doing another treble, another domestic treble, and said, you know what? I'm walking away from the Premier League now. I'm going to make England great. This guy will be written down in history as he has to be.
Yeah.
To do, listen,
what the thing is,
I think every English fan that supports whatever club will say, you know what, Pep has to be the greatest of all time. I know this thing labelled. Sorry, just to cut you. I know this thing always labelled at him that, you know what I mean. Normally, the size that he gets, he doesn't have to really put money into. When I say put money into it, he always buys ready-made, players.
But he actually said that though. He said, if you gave me a lower division team without money, he said, I'm not sure how well I would do. He actually said it in an interview. So it's not like he's like he's delusional about it. He knows that if he assembles a squad he wants, he can win. He knows that. All right, let me assemble my squad. Don't be buying players for me. Let me buy my players.
And
I'll win for you.
But he has to pick those particular players to work in his system, and he can coach them to that level. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
But then I feel that if Pep came to Liverpool with the amount of money that Klopp has had, and you give the same amount of money that Klopp has had to Pep, I still think he does much better wins more Premier Leagues.
Yeah, because
so what you're saying, if Pep is managing Liverpool, listen, if Pep is managing Arsenal, if Pep is managing Man United, we will win titles. As simple as that.
Even with that current squad at Man United, you're seeing a different mentality. If Pep is in charge of that now.
But D and Kof, you can see that. You look at Man City's side. Listen, I've witnessed to this. We all witnessed to this last season.
Yeah,
the mentality monster kicked in. Yeah, Arsenal we wilted, and you just saw these players. And obviously, when you see like they did like a little documentary that came out where Pep was like sort of talking to them after the games. This is the final run-in, and these guys got it. They got it. They knew. Yeah. Pep got into their psyche, and they said, "Yeah, go and do your business now.
Right.
If done it before, go and do it again."
And if you look at it as well, none of our clubs can go out and spend 100 million on Jack Grealish and ease him in over a whole season. Have him on the bench more than on the pitch. None of our clubs can do that. We can't spend 100 million and say he's on the bench again. No chance. Pep's allowed to do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference.
But it just shows you the strength and depth and the quality that he can bring off, and the fact that he has so much respect from the players. You know what I mean?
Right.
That these guys ain't going to go and talk up against him. All right. I know you have the odd Cancelo who
right. You got the odd rebel.
I'm going to go and
even Aguero. How many times did you have Aguero in your fantasy league? A man benched him. You're like, yo.
Yeah.
What are you benching
I remember when he first benched him because he was saying, bro, you're not playing to my system. I want you to press. And Aguero was not that type of player. Yeah.
He actually made Aguero into Elliot, for a better use of the word, like, you're going to be my super sub. You're like, get out of here, Pep. What are you doing?
Crazy.
And he still was winning. And I'm like, no, man, that's Aguero.
The fact is, Aguero was actually coming off the bench and scoring. So even though he was a starter,
that's what I'm saying.
He
made him into Ollie.
The bench and scoring, which is mad.
Super sub.
Do you know what I mean?
And you have to remember as well, Norm, Pep won titles without a recognised number 9. That's ridiculous. I know the game has changed, but come on, man. You're winning titles without a regular.
I think he's done that twice with 2.
Yeah, you just played them
last season. He's brought Haaland in. He's brought Haaland in now. He's obviously had to change his game and adapt his game to Haaland. But now it's like.
And he did the treble.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, even though Man City have adapted their game to Haaland, Haaland is now adapted his game. So rather than him just standing there waiting and holding the ball up, do you know what I mean? He's learning the Pep way now. So
to go wide sometimes, to move through the channels, push the defenders, make the defenders come and defend you. He's doing all that when before he was just a target man in the box. Now that's why it's a problem. Because now you can drop deep a little bit. Get the ball, drop deep.
It will make Haaland more dynamic player.
Yeah. I think when he was playing for Dortmund, he was kind of even though you scored your goals, and even like Man City, he's not as technically gifted as some of our other strikers in the league. Yeah, quite as you said, quite one-dimensional, but knows where to go. But now he's brought a little bit more to his game now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So his all-round game is a lot better than when you first saw him.
Because
when he was playing for Dortmund, you know what I mean. Just get me the ball. I'm on the end of that. Bang. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't sort of there to create or nothing like that. Do you know what I mean?
Because if you watch him now, Norm, he comes sometimes. He'll come a bit deep into the number 10 role.
That's right.
Get the ball. Hold on. He's a big lad. Hold off. Push the ball wide. Then go for the channels. And go straight into the channels and try to split the centre backs. Yeah. You're like, yo, this man dangerous now, man.
Dangerous.
More to his game now.
Dangerous.
Rather than just hanging in the box to get the headers in and get he's actually coming in.
Exactly.
The build up.
And even And even when he was playing and hanging in the box and whatever, you still couldn't work him out. as crazy as it is, you put defenders on him, and somehow he found that little bit of space, and bang, goal was in. Do you know what I mean? Again, a question from Craig. It goes, question: will Pep want to win the quadruple or go unbeaten in league this season?
You imagine he does both. So he's invincible and does the quad. Get out of here, mate. And then he just resides.
That's too much.
He just resides normally. He doesn't get fired.
What's it called? Mic drop.
Yeah, he drops the mic and leaves. And says to Man City, listen,
that's
I've done
all,
all you wanted me to do.
That's all, folks. You know what I mean?
I'll put you securely on the football map. You've got 2 Champions Leagues now. But then, who does City go and get once Pep's gone?
Well, this is the thing, because if Pep leaves, City, you'll see that City will drop off. Yeah,
just the mentality.
They won't be. They'll drop off, and that may be good for all. It may be good for all the teams now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you will see that. What it's the same with. Listen, same thing that happened with Fergie when he left. When Man United are now.
Mate.
Okay, listen. Under Wenger, we was under the decline. I wouldn't say under Fergie that he was under the decline. He just left when he needed to leave.
Well, you have to remember, and a lot of people forget this. Fergie begged Paul Scholes to come out of retirement. Paul Scholes came out of retirement, won the title, and Fergie dropped the mic and dipped. Get out of here, man. That's so disrespectful. Like, this guy's retired.
Yeah.
He came back, won the title, and they all quit.
He had this in his locker. Fergie had this in his locker. He did the same thing for the guy. He was the guy that played at Celtic, and he got him for a year.
The
Swedish guy.
Larson.
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 Do you know what I mean? That's what Fergie can do.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Osborne. You're saying, bro. City will get well, listen.
Oh, yeah. To ZB. That's a shout, isn't it?
That's a good shout there. Yeah. Shout there. Big up to you, Ez. I know you having a little bit of work done at home and everything, so I know. Thanks for coming in the chat there. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, as I said, like with all teams, when you're kind of up there, as I said, with Pep leaving, you will see a slight dip in their levels. Yeah.
I think it would be a big shock to the whole system and also the club.
Yeah.
But I mean, managers nowadays, are not going to be staying at clubs like the Wengers and the Fergies, 20 plus years or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Those days are gone. I mean, I think the longest serving manager currently now, I think might well be either Klopp.
Yeah.
Because I think even with Fergie, I think in the end, he was just on like a rolling contract. As in, when he said he's going to step away, then we cool.
Yeah, because there was one point. I'm sure there was one point where
he was never
going to step away, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think his wife never wanted him around the house or something like that. Like, no, you're too miserable. Get out of here. Go do your football thing.
I felt that after the Ronaldo sell, he was kind of in those years where he was like, do I really want to keep going?
Yeah, keep rebuilding. Because, like you say, when he got Scholes out of retirement, I think his mindset was, if I win this, I'm not rebuilding this team. And I think that's where the shock happened, because there should have been a constant rebuild as Fergie was walking away. And you remember the Rio Ferdinands, all these guys, you know what I mean? They all just kind of like, they were all at the end. So you literally ran that team into the ground, got Scholes to come back, win the title again, dropped the mic and walked away. Nah, bro. And so that team was broken in my mind.
Bro.
Yeah.
And I think it was tough for David.
He brought in Fellaini, bro.
I know. Fellaini.
It was like, Fellaini. Oh my! I was like, yo. Fergie would never have bought Fellaini.
Listen, when Moyes took over,
was that David Moyes?
Yeah, Moyes, he bought Fellaini. Yeah.
But when Moyes took over,
Fellaini was at Everton.
When Moyes took over, mate, he was breaking all kind of bad records for
it was mad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. You know what I mean? And I know you had a little gripe with Fergie for
Fergie tapped him up, man. Tapped him up both ways. Because you imagine David Moyes comes into United in his first season, wins the title. Everyone be like, yow, okay. Fergie was special, but this guy just came and won in the first season. Some would say, oh, that's Fergie's team, that's Fergie's squad, whatever. But the mere fact that he came and had an absolute train crash everyone was like, "You see how hard the Old Trafford job is." That was a narrative from the press. But if he had come in and won it, everyone would have been like, "Oh, well, that's Fergie's team he won it with." So either way, he was on a hiding to nothing. Either way. Yeah.
No, crazy, absolutely crazy. But listen, enough about Pep. Listen, if he takes over the England job, I hope he does the bits with them. But listen, for now, we're stuck with Northgate. So let's see what happens, and let's see where how they get on in the knockout. I'm sure they will qualify for the knockout stages. I think.
They normally do. I think I can say you cannot not qualify with that sort of talent. It's just how he uses them. I mean, he had Maddison apparently on the left wing. Come on, man, what are you doing? He's a number 10. Stop shoehorning players in just to say that you played them. It's a ridiculous strategy, isn't it? Really, from an international coach. Because he said that Foden don't play there for Pep. It's not Man City. It's England, mate. Foden can play across the front.
Anyway, that's right.
He can. He can play across the front. We've seen.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't understand why he brings in players that don't hardly play in their squads, and then
we was talking about that earlier, Cole. And there are other players, who have had more game time for their respective clubs and are on form. But he will take the likes of Calvin Phillips. He'll take the likes of Maguire, who are like 4th, 5th choice, and start them.
Yeah, start them. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I heard that Lewis Dunk got some minutes now.
Right? He played well yesterday. Yeah, he played well. He actually played well. So listen, most of the players that he left listen, I would have taken him at Arsenal.
Solid centre back.
I would have taken him at Arsenal. But as I said, a lot of the players, because it was a friendly yesterday, a lot of the first choice players, were on the bench.
Right.
So he started like with Foden and that. You're thinking Foden, but listen,
I'm sure Pep weren't happy with that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But let's move on. Let's move on to this one. Before we move on to when it rains, it sure pours in Manchester Gate. But before we touch that, let's just quickly talk about your club, Cove. Saudis have left the door wide open, Salah to go at some point. Obviously, I believe the Saudi window is now closed. I bet you're quite relieved by that.
It's closed now.
Yeah. Listen, they're going to come in again at the January transfer window. The pressure will be on even further because, we've started well. So I think Salah probably will decide to go through a whole season and decide maybe in the summer that's his lot. So but then it's that pressure of if things don't turn out great during the mid-season, will Salah decide, you know what, I've done what I can. I can't go any further and push the team any further.
Do you think they will come in again in January for him? Do you think?
Oh yeah. They will. They will. Yeah.
The Saudi Pro League director of football, Michael Nalo. Now, I'm sure he was the guy that was the director of football for Chelsea, wasn't he? Is it Emanalo? Sorry, Emanalo. Michael Emanalo. I'm sure he was the director.
Oh, right.
Well, I might be wrong. Ez, correct me if I'm wrong. He's now like the director of football. And he basically came out and said that, when asked about Salah, he basically said that the door will be surely open for him. And I think what he was basically saying is that at the moment, everything is not lined up. Everything's not aligned right now, but when everything's aligned, so in other words, what he's basically saying is that once, thanks for that, Ez. Yeah, once Salah turns around and says to his club, you know what, guys, I think it's now time for me to go and earn some bucks. Right? He's what, 31, 32? How old is he?
Yeah, 31.
31, yeah.
The next birthday, next year? He'll be 32.
Next year. Yeah.
Not this year, right. So, as you said, it depends on how things pan out for the rest of the season. Listen, Liverpool are doing quite well at the moment in the top four.
Started well.
I'm sure Klopp won't. Klopp will have second thoughts about pulling him off because he might say,
you know what?
"No, you pulled me off, man. I'm going in January."
That's going to play in Klopp's mind, like whether he decides to pull him off in games, because obviously Salah be playing on it as well, saying, "Look, I need to be playing 90 minutes every single week. You know, regardless whether I'm tired or not."
I don't know what kind of conversations we had, but I'm sure you might see this season that he probably be really substituted.
Because the thing is, two more substitutions like earlier on in games will play on Salah's mind. Like, does Klopp really want me, you know, in that team, like in pivotal moments in games? So that might sway him to decide, look, enough's enough. I want to
new challenge,
make a transition to the Saudi League.
Yeah.
Or put my name in for a transfer.
So him being up the poster boy for them out there. And listen, these guys won't stop. And if they don't get him in January, I'm sure they will definitely come in the summer of next year. Which by that time, I think maybe FSG will look at it and say, "Look, guys, our front four, front five. You know, if Salah goes, we can go and invest that money." Whether they're coming with that kind of 200 and whatever, I think it was 200, I can't remember what the actual figure was, 200 plus mil bid. You know, will it be of that extent next season? And again, it will all depend on Salah. I mean, if Salah plays really well and is banging in the goals and gets his team into, you know, Champions League this season, is a Europa League, maybe. Does he say, right, I've won a Europa League. Come on, Klopp, now, just let me go and be that. To be
honest, I think Liverpool take 120 mil for Salah, because remember the price will reduce, and you know, obviously as his age gets on a little bit more, and it's riding on his performances as well. So if Salah doesn't completely perform, you know, well this season, then they may say, look, you know what, take 100 million or take close to 100 million. And then, you know, Salah would say, look, high wages.
Yeah, well, look at it. Goes to Saudi, according to Craig, he would earn £6 million a month in wages.
Wow.
Mad. How do you spend that, bro? Absolutely crazy. Big up to you, Junior, bro. You saying, man?
Yes, Junior.
Yes, Junior.
Yeah, well, listen, we'll see what happens. As I said, your club is doing quite well at the moment. The door is wide open, Cove. So listen, you ain't about to close it.
I'm prepared for it because, you know, an end of a cycle has taken place. You know,
have you mentally? I suppose you have a question I'd ask you, Cove, as well, because listen, Salah's done really well for your club. You know what I mean? You know, he's broken loads of records for you. He's probably your best player that you've had. Barring
for a long time,
Kenny Dalglish and do you know what I mean? The likes of Kenny Dalglish.
I mean, I looked at the scoring charts, and you know, for somebody who came back into the Premier League, and you know, he's represented 2 Premier League clubs. For him to have scored and where is he now? I think he's 5th in the all-time Liverpool scorers behind Roger Hunt. So imagine for him to come back into the Premier League and gone up there to score about 186. I think it's on 186 goals for Liverpool.
Yeah, but Kofi, you know what? I actually feel like Souness would disagree. He would tell him to put his medals on the table. I'm joking.
Yeah. Souness has some mouth as well, because he can talk some things and it's like,
I love it.
We're not in his era. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Souness would tell Salah to put his medals on the table. Trust me. You know what?
Because you know,
sour Souness, you know, sour grape Souness, man.
Oh, funny.
And they had a good amount of players in that team. So
that team
you can say from where the football has shifted in terms of quality and, you know, like in terms of tackles, like they were tackling hard in that era, and you know the.
Oh, listen, man, he was crazy. Listen, bro, I'll tell you, if you imagine the players, the current players, of this era were to play in that era, right, the 80s, bro, they'd be coming off. Listen, I saw Richarlison, he got substituted in the game. I think it was against. It wasn't Peru. I can't remember if it was Bolivia. One of them.
The game before the Peru game.
Yeah, right. Man was crying.
He's a jellyback, That's a jellyback brother.
Man is crying. I'm like, you know what, man? You're just a baby,
Could you imagine him? You imagine him going up against men like Vinnie Jones and Roy Keane? They'd eat him alive, mate. Patrick Vieira. They'd eat him alive, man. I mean, come on. These brothers, it's embarrassing, man.
Mate, I'll tell you.
Embarrassing.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. Craig is saying, Cove, this is what you like. With the money Liverpool would get from Salah, do you think they could buy Saka from Arsenal?
I think you know what? The possibility of that happening is probably at the 75%. I think Liverpool will have to look at that and say, Saka, come, doors open, wide open. And it might be. And it might
listen, I want 200 bags. I want 200 bags.
It might be
200 bags and we do a deal.
We might have to put up a little bit more for Saka. Because, obviously it won't be enough because obviously Saka's head, I think, is screwed on. And, for him to leave Arsenal at this point.
No, I think what's going on with Arsenal,
Go on, here's a scenario. Right? You drop 150 mil on Saka, give him the number 7 shirt, captain's armband, 400 grand a week. He's coming. He's coming, bro. For him to be leading that Liverpool.
You know what? For me, it depends
on
FSG. It depends on FSG because FSG, they're shrewd, silly businessmen that they think they can just pay the lowest price for everything for any player. And I don't think Saka, being on the wages Saka's on right now, I don't think he comes to Liverpool saying, I'll reduce my wages. Saka's like, how much is he on at Arsenal? 350?
Well, with add-ons and everything, bonuses and all that, it comes up to about that.
Yeah. So imagine now the highest player Liverpool is Salah on 350. So they literally have to pay above that. And will they break that wage structure again? Yeah. Because like Van Dijk's getting on and they're not even getting 350. Van Dijk's on 220. Alisson, Trent is gonna get his renewed contract soon as well. So it's gonna be a tough one.
Is Trent injured at the moment, Kobe?
He had a slight hamstring.
Right, yeah.
But do you know if is he gonna be fit for the weekend game against Wolverhampton? Or?
I don't know. I think maybe the following week he'll be ready.
Okay. Yeah. It's tough. You're away to Wolverhampton, isn't it?
Yeah, away.
What do you reckon?
I didn't put. I was gonna put the prediction, but I was like, this is a tough one. We always have tough games and slight wins, so probably I'd say we edge it 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. The same score line for Man United. Brighton. Brighton have always played good against us, man. So I might even go down that road. I ain't picking Brighton.
And you got to remember, Evans and Maguire might be in your back line.
Yeah, because but what's
is Lissandro back?
He played for. Listen, he's a naughty guy, He did this at the World Cup as well. When it was the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
He came off injured and jumped on a plane straight to Brazil to join up with the Brazil squad. Wow. While we still had 2 more games to go before the. He's a bit of a naughty guy, mate. And then he saves himself for Brazil. I mean, for Argentina.
You think the Anthony Saga is going to have a massive?
Well, let's come on to that now. Let's come on to that. So, my statement is: when it rains, it pours. It sure pours in Manchester Gate. Over to you, Big D.
Right.
Thunderstorms.
I tell you what,
I'm just gonna go make myself a cup of tea and some biscuits. Yeah,
you know the ones. No,
I want to sit down for this soap opera.
This thing is so peak, right? And I'll tell you what's scary about the Anthony situation, right? I saw one that did a bit of door work, you know, like in my BT days. I should do a little bit of door work just to get some extra money. Not really that I needed it, but you know, one of my guys, a bodybuilder, used to do a door, right? And when someone says he headbutted me, right? Like if she said he choked me, he dashed me on the ground, he slapped me, you'd be like, okay, you know what? Maybe she's, you know, her imagination running wild with her. When she said he headbutted me, most men don't do that. Like when you headbutt somebody, you're a madman because the first reaction for you is to headbutt somebody in an altercation, right? Like, I met a guy that did that a few times when we worked on the door, and we just fired him. We're like, bro, restrain it. You just got straight in with a headbutt. So when she said that he headbutted me, it made me think this guy may have done this, you know. And you know what I mean? Just that statement alone had me go, whoa. I don't think that's the first thing that comes into a woman's head if she's been abused, that he headbutted me. You know, like you've always heard it, yeah, he choked me out, he slapped me, he punched me in the face, or something like that. But when she said the headbutt, that had me think, no, he might have lost his head and done that, you know. Which, if he has, he's done out here, fam. If they prove that he's done this stuff and she got the evidence.
Yeah, I mean, listen, currently, not only is his current, well, I don't know if it's his current girlfriend, because I'm kind of lost what's happening. All I know that there's two other people have come up and put allegations against Anthony. Obviously, he's got on over Brazilian TV over where he is, and has basically come out and said all of this, what's happening is total lies, it's allegations, it's a fabrication and stuff. Why would these people come and make it up? Now, you can look at the Mendy guy, and we see he's been acquitted now. Now, look, we don't condone whatsoever on this channel or any channel. You know, when it comes to abuse, we have to take this serious. It's not a laughing game. And the fact is, obviously he's been suspended with pay. Yeah. There's all sorts of noise coming out that they sent doctors, Man United sent doctors to some other things
she wanted to go to the hospital, and they were at one of Man United's hotels. So this might be before he got his house in Cheshire. So you know the players stay at the hotel until they get their house when they first come over. So apparently he made a phone call, like kept her in the room, made a phone call. Man United, they got like a, for better use of word, an Olivia Pope, a fixer. And the fixer brought their medical guy to check her over and all that, and wouldn't let her go. Because if he goes to the hospital, she goes to the hospital with damages. The hospital, by law, have to call the police and say, a woman came in, it looks abusive.
That sounds, listening to that.
And if United have done that as well, Norm, if United have covered this up, my Lord. Come on, man.
The way things are happening in your club in terms of the way things have been handled with Man United and it's gone completely.
You saw my text the other day, didn't I? Glazergate, all the gates, it was just like, yo, this is too much. How's this guy really supposed to stabilize the club when every time he turns a corner, there's another situation?
And we don't know how long, you know, he's going to be away, you know, for this prolonged period, because they're saying that, I don't know, again, the Manchester police force are investigating.
Right.
Then you've got also what's going on in Brazil as well. There's too much happening.
But if you look, Norm, if you look how powerful social media and the media have come now, because all that happened because she put this stuff on social media, and the mainstream media jumped on it. Bam, you're suspended, bro. Before the man's even hired a lawyer or gone to court or that's basically that press is too bad. We got to put it to the side, my guy. It's wild, man.
You got Geordie, man.
Geordie, what are you saying? And so I look at that and say, just her statement about the headbutt just had a lot, because like I say, I worked with this guy and that was his first instinct when it all got a bit tasty on the door, just to put his nut on somebody, break their nose, and you know, all that, man. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Restrain. Like, a woman's throwing punches at you. You can restrain her without physically hurting her. You can grab her wrist or whatever. But to stick a nut on her, my lord, are you mad, bro? And for her to say that, she's either got a super wild imagination or it actually happened, which is very unfortunate if you can prove that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help situations, as you said, because obviously he's, you know, Man United have obviously said, look, you need to stay away from the club and get this sorted out. You know what I mean? And it doesn't look good from a public persona seeing what we're seeing here. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that 2 other people have now come and said whatever. Do you know what I mean?
And he hasn't been arrested right now, or has he?
No, he hasn't been arrested.
Right, so when that happened with Mason, it's because Mason got arrested.
Yeah.
The club are sidelining him because of what social media and the media are putting out there. With Mason, they sidelined him because he actually got arrested and taken down to give a statement at the police station. So United said, you know what? My guy got to take a back bench right now because now he's under investigation. But Anthony's under investigation without being arrested just because of social media and mainstream media. And then obviously the Brazil team saying, whoa, no, my guy, you're not playing for us in this international. It's deep how everyone's just kind of like, they've literally parted the waters.
Is it because of where it happened or because it didn't happen in the UK? Or...
No, they're saying that this one happened in Manchester.
It happened in
Well, they're saying that this one happened. This is what I'm saying to you, that when the players first come over, while they're looking for a house, they put them in either that. There's 2 hotels they use in Manchester, and he was at one of them hotels with her. And so rather than let her go to the hospital, they're saying that he kept her in the room, called the fixer at Old Trafford. They got like a liaison person, said, listen, things got a bit tasty, like, you know, okay, we'll send our medical guy. Keep her in the room. Because they know that once someone sees her walking through a foyer with all blooded up and all that, with him, someone's getting their camera phone out.
Well, the other thing as well, which was said, and I think I was watching, I can't remember what podcast it was, and they were saying that if CCTV has captured them going to the room,
right,
they're done out here, mate. They're done out here, bro. They're done out here.
But the thing is, you find that most of the modern hotels, and if they are not modern, they put them in. They'll have CCTV in the corridors once you come off the lifts and stuff. You see that in most of the hotels. So if she's fine going to the room and she's held hostage in the room while she gets fixed up, then there might not have been nothing to see, Norms. And that's why they said, don't let her go to the hospital, allegedly. We'll send somebody. We'll send our doctor to check her out and all that. Everything's, if United have done that to protect the player for his violent behaviour, you have to remember, right, both the Casemiro's red cards last season all stem from Anthony foolishness. The one where they said he strangled the guy, that was Anthony that started that foolishness. He's got it in him. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful what you say. Be careful.
No. I'm seeing it on the pitch. No. It actually happened that Anthony started the fight with a bad tackle. Yeah. Casemiro dives in to try and calm it down.
No, the reason why
he gets a red card.
Are you implying that because of his attitude on the pitch?
On the pitch,
that there's a possibility.
The possibility that he can't switch it off. Yeah, which is unfortunate. Like the aggressiveness on the pitch, I don't mind it. It'd be like Vieira and Roy Keane. Yeah. The way they were aggressive on the pitch. If it came out that Roy or Vieira tried to strangle their missus, you might actually believe it because they got hot tempers. He's got a hot temper, Norm. It's not like we're saying, oh, maybe he's got a hot temper. And I remember how many times where you see players have to talk to him and say, Casemiro say, yo, my G, calm it down, bro. Remember, they're Brazilian, so Cas could step to him like that. I saw it last season so many times, they had to calm Anthony down. And I say, he's a hothead, man. And if his head just went because of something she did, because apparently they were trying to break up as well. And then she got, and the only reason why this has been leaked, because he's moved on to a new girl.
Yes,
my girl's in her feelings. So she goes, no, I'm blowing this guy up. And maybe he was supposed to pay her off and all that. And he never paid her off, so she's blown up his spot. It's mad.
Can I ask this question to people in the chat? As it might be a bit far fetched, but as Ten Hag lost the control of the dressing room, as he lost,
it's lost something.
I mean, when you're looking at what's going on, you've got the Sancho situation.
Discipline.
Obviously, I don't know. I mean,
he's lost the discipline, I think, because you have to remember. There's always been a scenario for him to deal with.
Yeah.
There's always been, you know what I mean? If it's not the owners, it's Ronaldo. It's Maguire. It's, you know what I mean? Like, because you remember, everyone was saying, why didn't he strip Maguire as soon as he got there? He knew that he didn't want to play him, but he left him with the captain's armband. So that was always spoke about in the press conference. What's your captain on the bench? And straight away, that's a take hard. That's your fault, mate. You knew you don't want to play him, but you left him with the captain's armband. So every time you sit on the podium, oh, is Harry playing this week? What? Your captain, is he playing this week? Oh, is that how we're starting the press conference? Well, yeah, it's your captain. He plays for England. Is he playing for you this week? You did that to yourself.
Right.
I think he had enough time in the summer to see leaders and say, okay, I've got 4 leaders here. I'm not going to play this guy. One of these 4 got to be my captain to start this new season. Harry won't like it, but that's what it is. You're a bit part player. You're going to come on when I need you to close out a game and to play in the cup games or whatever. But he kept him as captain and put himself under pressure. Then Ronaldo wanted to be captain. So Ronaldo would never listen to Maguire, whether in training or on the bench. And then the Ronaldo stuff happened. It's non-stop, Norm. It keeps the press. It's easy for the press, Norm. Man United is easy for the press, man. It's just back pages every day, bro. Come on, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in football. It's wild.
And well, I don't know. Is it affecting your performance on the pitch? You know, as I said, you got the Sancho situation. You know, it was Ten Hag right to some people. Some factions are saying it was wrong for him to come out and blow him up that way. And Sancho had a right to. He's now taking down the tweet. Now he's taking down the tweet and
right.
whatnot.
So they had a meeting allegedly.
Yeah, they had a meeting. Yeah, there's also this thing about apparently they've been managing his time management as well. Apparently, discipline
comes late.
But this is something that goes back to when he was in Man City and Dortmund days of that, and that his attitude to football is not what it should be. So they've got this time management structure thing that they have sort of implemented for him.
You see what they were saying, though? They were making him come in an hour before the rest of the first team squad just to make sure that he came to training on time.
Yeah.
And that just tells you that he's got a lack of his discipline. Set your alarm clock, you know what I mean? I set my watch, I set my phone.
Yes,
I got double alarms in my head.
With all of that said, when then Ten Hag then comes out and says, when he was asked the question, obviously at the height of just losing the game, like, you know, I didn't pick him.
That's why you blew him up, though. Because he lost the game. If he didn't lose the game, he's not blowing.
That's what I was going to say. If you won that game, exactly. I don't think nobody knows about this.
Exactly,
nobody knows about
because you have to remember.
He wasn't. Then that means that Ten Hag wasn't professional in his approach to all of this. Because as I said, he didn't really need to say it. Some people say he's the manager. He can say what he wants. He's the manager. He can say what he wants.
He needed to deflect after that Arsenal loss, because remember his head is hot because some of the penalty and the offside goal. His head is hot, and the media guy, was it Sky? I think it was Sky Sports, wasn't it? I think, or BT Sports. Whoever it was, they knew his head was hot. So it's like, okay, Sancho's not even on the bench today, and I look at who you brought. The bench was awful, right? And I'm like, so it's like, right, we're gonna go for him, and they just put the Sancho missile on him, and he took the bait straight away. They got him hook, line, and sinker, man. And he just came. You remember, man's head is hot, you know. Yeah, well, this guy's training properly. So they decided to bring him. Right. Really? And then when he said it, you could see him. He kind of pulled back a little bit to say,
You know what, D? Sorry, just cut. But the thing is, when he was obviously the manager at Ajax, he could get away with that. He was. They said he was that type of manager. He was just straightforward. But you can't do that with the British press.
He's been here
now you can see the pressure now is on him because he didn't expect the kickback from it. Not only the kickback, the fact that Sancho came out immediately and said,
and I think as well,
you're lying, brother. You're lying.
I think as well, Norm, is that he felt he had taken care of Sancho so much in last season. Remember, he sent him to the mountains to go meditate and get fit and all that. Right, allegedly. Meditate and get fit, never mind. But he did that. So he felt like he had points in the bank that he could have just dropped that little nugget and get away with it. And Sancho said, nah, my guy. You have to remember, right? He's a South London man, ain't Sancho? He's a South London man. He don't play that. He's a South London man. Let's forget about he lives in Manchester. He's a South London brother. And he was not having that. Because you have to remember, 15 minutes, that tweet was out. Like, so he's probably sitting there, head is hot, starts sleeping, thumbs are going a million miles an hour. No one's there to say, Jaden, hold on a sec, mate, hold on a sec. Tomorrow morning, kick down man's office door, have it out, put your phone away. And there was no one around to say, put your phone away.
But you put it out there, everybody's jumped on it.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter that he's removed it.
It's only, what, 20 odd hours ago he's taken down that tweet.
Yeah, everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen it, bro.
Yeah, so him taking it down.
2.4 million followers, apparently.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So 2.4 million people have seen that. Yeah,
and they'll share it.
And they're sharing it. Yeah, exactly. Retweet. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Now, what he was doing.
Question is, there was talk. Like, obviously, with that, his future is his future seemed a little bit up in the air anyway. Even before this old saga, because there was talk about whether he would have been at the club this season because they were looking to sell him on. And maybe these were some of the reasons why, because of his attitude and not performing. You spent like near 75+ million on this guy. Do you know what I mean? And he's not performing as he should at at Man United levels. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And now, personal situation now, does he have a future at the club?
Yeah, personal. He's used the scapegoat thing at Man City and at Dortmund. Now, that's 3 times the scapegoat thing. Yeah. So he's got previous, as we say, of that behaviour. So all 3 clubs can't be wrong about the same thing. And each time he said, "They're all scapegoating me. Woe is me." We're paying this guy a lot of money now.
Would you give him a chance to
prove himself?
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got no choice because I think Anthony may be going. Because this is the thing, right? If you look at it, we can't rely on Palestri for the whole season on the right wing, and I don't want to see Bruno.
What about Garnacho?
You're going to play Garnacho on the left, innit? He won't play him on. I don't think he'll play him on. He can play him on the right because he can cut in. And, I don't know. He may do.
Do you think Ten Hag goes in at January thinking, let me get a recognised winger because of the Anthony situation?
We don't know how long he's going to be out for.
No, the thing is, right?
And does Jaden go in January?
If this sticks, right, United will have to terminate his contract for breach of contract. If he did headbutter and all these things, not only that, what she's done is blow up United to say the club tried to cover it up as well. It's even worse. So you put bad press on the club because you've panicked and called the fixer rather than saying, "Let me get you to hospital, darling." You know what I mean? But then he's in a hospital. All the camera phones come out saying, "That's Jadon Sancho. Look, he's missing his face. What happened there?" And straight away saying, "Oh yeah," straight away they're going to say that he beat on her. That's what social media does. And he knew the moment he left that room with her all blooded up or a black eye or whatever was going on, the phones are out. And so he quit thinking, "Let me call somebody at the club." And the club must have said, "Oh my God, not another one."
What are you doing?
Stay put was coming. And I actually feel that might have happened, Norm. And if it has happened, oh my Lord, shame on my club.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look whatsoever.
That's like, what do we do?
So with that said, then we don't know when Anthony's going to come back because it's indefinite.
So Kofi could be right there about spending in January.
He's on gardening leave for whatever.
But who, Kofi? Who do we get in January?
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, would you?
I ain't got the money. They haven't got the money.
No. Well. This is the thing. If what we're led to believe,
I know this is. I use link with that Ghazi guy.
Oh, mate. When I saw that,
I know it's not true. But
I was just like this, scratching my head, saying, "If this guy rolls up in United shirt, then I don't know what I'll have to do, man. I just got on hibernation or something because my Lord." But this is the thing. If we're led to believe that that Sheikh wants to be in charge of the club before the January transfer window opens, then I don't think getting a winger in January will be a problem because we'll just overpay. And, you know what I mean? They'll just overpay for one. And and if you know you're coming in to start because my guy is gone, then it's an easy sell, isn't it? Really, it's an easy sell. So
I mean, I haven't been following, the sales situation because the last time we heard that the Glazers were putting on hold. So are you saying?
So
what's happening with
this? Is what they're saying, right? All this stuff came out about they're putting the sale on hold, and then the people that are involved, i.e. the Rain Group and that, they've all come out and said it's not true. And then I'm hearing as well that the Sheikh said that if he's buying it for whatever he's off, he may just offer the 6 million and be done with it, which I think he should have done in the summer. He's clearly got the money, just get it done. And then because he said that if I'm buying it, I want to be in charge when the January window opens, and get Ten Hag what he needs. So the Sheikh ain't playing no games.
Right, but does the Glazers want more than 6 million? That's the thing.
Well, that's what they're saying now.
6 billion.
They're saying they're looking at 7 to 10 now.
Right.
Oh. I don't know how the price has gone up when the stock has dipped on the New York Stock Exchange, and our performances ain't been there. So,
but we know why.
It's not like we're top of the. It's not like
the Glazers have turned around and said they ain't selling.
Yeah, but
right.
But apparently, it's a version of insider trading, you know.
Yeah,
if they told the people around them
that
listen, man, we're going to put it out there that we're not selling, then you go buy some shares, man, so we can make our money from the Sheikh, and then what you make on your shares, we'll take a little something for letting you know that we're going to put this statement out there. I think they're playing a very dangerous game because I don't think anybody in their right mind, unless it's a massive consortium of people that just don't care about their money, are going to offer them 10 million for the club. I just don't see it. Personally, I could be wrong, but I don't see it. It's a lot of money, Norm. Not when it's not. It's worth under 4 billion on the stock exchange. So you chat about 7 billion for? Come on, man. The Sheikh is already overpaying at 5.8 billion. He's already overpaying, and he's clearing the 800, 900 million transfer debt as well. So you might as well call it 7 million, Norm. By the time, and then he's got to fix Carrington and Old Trafford. That's only 10 million in the making, Norm.
Greedy
10 million.
Glazers.
They are. They're terrible, Norm. Terrible owners. My Lord.
Oh, my God. Listen. Let's hope that you do something against Brighton. You got them at home this weekend. Bro, if you lose that game, it's 10 under pressure now.
Oh, yeah. If we lose on the weekend, serious pressure, Norm. Because you can't have all this going on in the background and not have some positivity on the pitch. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, you can't keep going to press conferences and making excuses. We have to win on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday we playing? Sunday? Saturday. Yeah. We have to win on Saturday. Brighton. And Brighton going to come to play, bro. Brighton ain't going to lay back and get dictated to. They're probably going to have more of the football.
Obviously.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so, I look at that game and I say...
Dezebri ball.
I look at that game and I'm like, bro, that's the last game we needed coming back because we need a win. We needed Luton.
You know what, D? I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I must have watched the Rice goal. I've lost count. Not only that, I thought I'd also watch the Jesus. Where? Sorry,
he's still sliding. You know what?
He's a slip down route, bro.
Right. This guy was made he was made a meme immediately. Get out of here, Asher. No, I want to see you here tonight.
Yo, Asher, man.
What are you saying, my guy? What we saying, my guy? 3-1, you know. Asher still living up. And that was the bad thing about the international break, that Arsenal man could just live off that smoke for a long time.
Bro, it was sweet. It was sweet,
bro.
It was sweet.
Here we go.
Look, Evan Ferguson listen,
incoming.
That Everson Ferguson guy, bro. Yeah. Teams are looking at him. Man City are looking at him. Chelsea are looking at him as well. This man could be somewhere 100 million plus. Do you know what I mean? Even Arsenal.
Well, apparently, they've already said that. They've already said, yeah, if you want him, he's 120 million in the summer.
Yeah.
Right. That's wild, isn't it, Norm?
Listen, bro.
And you think about it, we still need another striker. So does you guys. So does Chelsea.
I heard
3 big teams.
I've linked with Vlahovic again.
So does Tottenham.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
All 4 of us need a striker.
Carlson.
So I'm saying all four of us in the striker.
Is he R9? You're joking, bro.
R9.
Yeah. That's R9 gone wrong, bro.
It should be R. It should be R never. Forget about R9. Just R never. I think this guy must have scored the most disallowed goals, taken off his shirt and got a yellow card in the history of football. Edit, how many disallowed goals did this guy score? Took off his shirt, got a yellow card, and the goal got disallowed. You're like, bro, yeah, Ivan, yo, Craig, Ivan's gonna cost us an arm and a leg. Anyone goes for Ivan?
Well, they're saying about 65 to 70 mil.
Really?
You get him? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because Vlahovic,
I'm buying him then, Norm. I'm buying him for 60 mil.
We're linked with Vlahovic as well. He's around about the same price. Yeah. Now, Vlahovic, we've been in for this guy he didn't want to come to us. He came from Fiorentina and then went to Juve.
Yeah.
To be honest, this season, I think I haven't watched him, but I went to look at his stats. I think he's scored, is it two? I think he's got 2 or 3 goals already.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why I'd go for Ivan Toney because the fact that he knows the Premier League.
He knows the
yeah. And for me, definitely 100%. He can, as we know, he can hold the ball up. He can run the channels, and he's strong and he's big. Do you know what I'm saying?
And as you guys know, I've been champion for this guy for the last 2
85.
transfer windows. That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
Brentford know what time it is.
Yeah,
you got to drop a light 80 mil to get him out of there for the second half of the season.
He came out in an interview and said he likes Liverpool, but he wouldn't mind playing at Arsenal. So, come on.
Yeah. He didn't talk about my club because he's like,
Well,
and not that, he's a bit of a rebel as well. He's a bit of a rebel.
But you know what it is, though. With what's going on at Man United, right now. You're not an attractive proposition now.
Nah, exactly. Bro.
Do you know what I mean?
The only attraction is Champions League football. That's the only attraction right now. Yeah, so we got to stay in it as long as possible. That way we might be able to pull a few strings in January because we're still in the Champions League. So it's interesting. You're right. With all the drama, you got to look at it and say, whoa, I'm not sure about United, you know. Even though you look at some of the players there, you say, I wouldn't mind playing with a Rashford or a Casemiro. But I think if Amrabat is fit at the weekend, he's got to go Casemiro, Amrabat double pivot.
I heard that he got injured.
Well, they say precaution. They sent him home because he just got to United and he was feeling a little bit of a twitch there. So they said, you know what, you just got to your new club. Like we'll cope without you in the internationals. But I hope that's the case, because I think you drop him in a double pivot. You play Bruno in the 10. You play Mount on the right wing, or Palestri, either way, and then Rashford on the left, and my guy Haaland. And I think we'll give Brighton the game.
I mean, listen, you're going to be playing at home. It's going to be his home debut, so I've been really interested to see how he performs with the pressure and everything that's going on.
Yeah,
he's young, but what I saw against Arsenal, he kept Gabriel busy. Not going to lie.
But he played. I think he got some minutes as well in the international. I'm surprised Ten Hag let him go because he only just got him back into the team. Right. But he went to Denmark. Okay. Eriksen's still playing for Denmark. We're trying to save this guy's legs. What are you doing? What's he 38 now? I mean, I can't even believe that. I thought he retired from the international team. He's not 30. I'm exaggerating. But I'm like, no, your legs are growing or gone.
Maybe his reactor is about 38 years old. You know,
right. Why are you playing for Denmark when we need you to just give us the right minutes at Old Trafford? I don't actually get that now because I don't see him winning anything big with Denmark now. Not at that age. Just concentrate on your club football, bro. But he's like a figurehead for Denmark. He's like a figurehead. They love him. So I get it to a point. But when he was injured for so long with us, you don't want to see him going to play for Denmark internationals.
I tell you, mate. I love it. Everybody puts his hand up, innit? Don't put your hand up because the likelihood is that we're going to score against you.
It's just
always before a goal goes and he's got his hand up. What are you putting that for?
Yeah, because he's always trying to get that. They were offside. No, you're just too slow. That's it. They were offside. You just didn't react quick enough, Harry. Come on, bro.
Oh, bro. Listen,
like I said, this man got the turning circle of an ocean liner. You know that one?
Oh, bro.
Like, my brother.
Let's quickly move on to we've got one more thing after this. I just want to discuss the Pogba, just a little bit of the Pogba situation.
Yeah.
Now, I'll read it. Is it that he's only played since he's moved to Juve? He's only played 8 times for Juve.
Yeah. And it's funny right now because I actually think that he's got so frustrated with his body that he may have taken something to try and heal himself quicker. Or remember the club tried to sell him in the summer. Now some people are saying that the club was spiking his drinks and all kind of stuff. I don't know how true it is, his energy drinks and all that, right? So they said that it could be two things. Pogba's people could have said, Paul, you've got to get your body back to some kind of playing thing. Otherwise, your career's done. And he may have been encouraged to take some enhancements to repair muscles and all that. Because you can take certain things to repair muscle injuries quicker. So it's either that, because they're saying it's testosterone, which your body needs to repair. So whether you were injecting it, apparently, so you can inject it, you can tablet it, or you can use testosterone creams, apparently. There's some creams that are heavily based with that. And you they're massaged into the injury areas. So he may have done that out of being desperate just to play football again. And if he has, he might. You have to remember as well, Norm, he got tested when he didn't even play. He didn't come on.
Right, I know.
Which feels
and some people saying, "What's that?
That's a setup."
It's a little bit. It's a little bit, bro. But listen, Paul Pogba. Like, look, I just read from Sky. Just read the statement or what Sky have written. They said that ex-Manchester United midfielder Pogba has been provisionally suspended for an anti-doping offence. If found guilty of doping, a suspension of up to 4 years could be handed out to Pogba. Frenchman rejoined Juve from United last summer and has made 8. That's it, 8 Serie A appearances. You're right, 8.
Right, Norm. So just quickly there, narrative. Ex-Man United player. You see Sky Sports. Every opportunity to kick us in the nuts, excuse my French, they do it. He's been at Juve second season. So why are you bringing Man United into it? Ex-Man United player Paul Pogba. Come on, man. Because we're in a mess. He's been mess on us.
D, you know who wrote this article?
What?
Graham Souness.
Probably, probably, Graham got his on his keyboard warrior, Graham. Ex-Man United player, put your medals on the table. Pogba.
yeah. Whilst he was in hospital nursing a torn ACL or whatever it was, you made Man United lose a game.
That's right. Yeah, idiot. Yeah.
Anyway, but listen. His representative come out and said he's like, look, he said he wanted to break. He didn't want to break. He never wanted to break the rules. Read right into that. He never wanted to break the rules after Juventus midfielder was provisionally suspended for anti-doping offence.
So, Norm.
He's taken something because he says he never wanted to break the rules.
Well, here's the other thing. He's been told that he needs to supply a B sample.
Yep.
If the B sample comes back negative, then he's good. If it comes back positive, then that's a problem.
Because apparently, how long does it stay in the system?
I think they gave, I don't know. Well, it's like anything. It will stay in your hair follicles, Norm. Like, so you see when my sister used to do this for like if someone refuses to give a urine sample, just take a piece of their hair. Either way, it will test what's in your system. I know exactly. Wow. You know what I mean? Like you just spray your ready to man's yard. You get his hairbrush. There you go. There's your samples. You put it in the bag. Take it to the lab. So even if this will supply a plan B, you say, well, we got it from your comb, my brother, and this sparks all kind of stuff in your system. It's like the technology is that good that you don't even need a urine sample now.
Yeah.
So if Paul I think he's done it because of the injuries. He's done it to try and repair his body quicker because he just because, like you say, 8 times in nearly a season and a half.
If he's found guilty, 2 to 4 years suspended, that's pretty much his career kaput.
Yeah.
You know what? He's a Muslim. Just go Saudi League, bro. Just go Saudi League. You're a Muslim. They'll embrace
That
you.
might be where
Seriously.
he will end up.
No, that's where he'll end up, Norm. He's down in European football if he... Yeah, there's no point. Because if he gets 4 years, he'd be 34, 35.
Yeah.
So you might as well go and get a season and a half or two out Saudi.
His injuries have just been absolutely atrocious. Since he's been there, he's had a knee,
remember
injury.
When we had him.
I know, but then...
injury prone,
It's crazy. But as you said, it could be the fact that his body's breaking down.
Yeah.
And as a sportsman, you know what I mean? You're thinking to yourself, bro, you've got all these youngsters coming up and, you know what I mean? You're like, I need to keep up with these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you think about it, apart from the World Cup, which is a big deal, he hasn't won that much. I mean, he's won some stuff, but he hasn't won a load of stuff. Not what, if you look at potential.
He's not won too many majors.
Yeah, exactly. And so you look at that, Kof, and you say, for the talent he could have been, like the World Cup is really all he can brag about. It's not a bad brag, but for what he was hyped up to be, and I liked Pogba as a player. People that don't know that I liked Pogba, because when Pogba was fit and you saw what he could do, carrying the ball.
I mean, listen, his best years were at Juventus. Absolutely.
You were getting that at United, maybe 1 in 9 games. You were getting that Pogba.
Yeah, the Pogba Juve when he left Man United the first time.
Right. That's the problem.
You know what I mean, he was doing bits. He was doing bits for Juve, and then obviously Man United looked at that, and then there was the big homecoming.
Welcome home, innit? Yeah.
Welcome home. The big.
Because remember, he started in the academy. You know, Norm started.
I know. Yeah.
So it was the right thing to do in the sense of, because people said, Fergie got rid of him, but it wasn't the case.
No, that's right. He has Fergie. We heard that. But yeah.
He asked Fergie about minutes. And Fergie said, you're going to be behind Scholes and this one and that one. Yeah. And he said, I need to play football because I'm trying to get into the France team. And that's why he left and went to... So his father said, go to Juve. You'll start at Juve. So it wasn't like, him and Fergie were in loggerheads. So Fergie said, get rid of this kid. Because Fergie got rid of a lot of players, as we know.
Yeah.
Anyone that was a bad egg, he got rid of. So that wasn't the case for Pogba. He just wanted regular first team football.
He flourished under, when he was at Juve, and he's thinking to himself, this guy, you know what I mean? If Paul Pogba got a lot of testosterone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying was that his testosterone levels were through the roof, and your body doesn't produce testosterone like that for them levels to be that high. But then the mere fact that he got tested in a game that he didn't play in tells you that maybe Juve set him up, because now he can get done for breach of contract. They have to pay him off any money and they get rid. Remember, they were trying to sell him. If you say what I'm on his wages now, you're like, okay, well, we didn't sell him, but we're not paying him his whatever 400 grand a week or whatever he was on. And you got to look at that and say, did he mess up or did the club doctors set him up? Because there's no reason to test him if he didn't enter the field of play.
And then there's also the blackmail allegation and all that. There's so much has happened.
The hyena heads at Old Trafford, apparently. It's just, his drama is non-stop, in it. And then the brothers blackmailing him, as you said. He's had a lot, man. He's had a lot, you know.
Crazy. Well, look, the way you've just explained that to me,
Dark Clouds.
That bro, that B sample when it comes out, man.
And he has to do the B sample, Norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he don't do the B sample, he's done anyway.
Yeah.
So at least drink 20 gallons of water and see. I don't know, something.
I mean, how long did Rio get?
I don't know how you counteract it.
How long did Rio get banned for? Was it a year?
He did 2 years.
2 years. It was 2 years.
I think it was 2 years. Yeah, it was heavy.
Yeah, because he
didn't show up. No, he didn't show up, did he? Like he had the date, or they said or like they said we're testing him after the game. He just went home or went out. He didn't bother going. Yeah. And then and so they just said, we've got something to hide. Because I remember Fergie was furious with that. Because if you think about it, right? Losing Rio and losing Cantona probably cost us 2 titles. You know, Fergie could have been on about 15 or 16. You have to remember both of them got suspended. You know.
Crazy.
We've always been a drama club, no.
Drama.
Even under Fergie.
Oh my god. Well, listen, we're coming down to we're coming down to the last. Well, listen, hopefully we'll see what happens. But right now, if you was to rate the B sample coming back,
slim to none, isn't it?
Is it slim? Is it?
Yeah, slim to none. I think he knows he had to take something to try and repair his body, and maybe they've done it. So the levels are way too high for what they want.
You think he just cuts his losses and not take the B sample, then just go?
Well, because
it makes it worse, doesn't it? If you supply a B sample and that is sky high as well, it's like 2 samples and then the press jump on that even more. Maybe you hold your hands up and said, I took this. I didn't realize it would.
I mean, he's come out previous before and said that he wanted to retire from football because of all the stuff that was going on around him. Do you know what I mean? The injuries and all obviously.
He's got young kids as well, Norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got young kids, so maybe you just look at the whole family setup and say,
move to Saudi.
I got me World Cup medal. I won a few things at United. I won a few things at. He probably won at least 8 trophies between United and Juve and a World Cup medal. It's not like he's had. Some people go for the whole career and don't win anything. You can't really say that he ain't won anything. You know what I mean? Like the World Cup is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, but
did he win a European? Did he European as well?
He won. Well, he won the Europa with Jose and Zlatan.
Yeah. No, United. Did he win a European Cup with France?
I think
he did. Yeah. I think so. World Cup, Euro, Europa. He never won a title with United. He won a title with Juve, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he won Champions League with Juve. I don't think so.
No.
Nah.
No, he hasn't.
So it's not bad. It's not bad.
But
it's not like you go home and you look in your cabinet and you got no trophies and no medals. He's done all right. He's done all right.
Because I think the Pogba that then came back from Juve to Man United, I think if he'd come maybe 2 years before, and I'd probably say that maybe if you know what I mean.
I mean, quickly, Norm, if you look what they paired him with, McTominay and Fred, you're not dominating no big teams with that midfield, are you? Let's be honest. Yeah. So even though they brought him in and apparently they promised him big signings, typical United, mugged him off. And so they wanted him to be a miracle worker with that midfield.
Yeah, because I couldn't work. To be honest, Steve, when I watched him, I couldn't work out where he was playing. What?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because if
I didn't know if he was playing as a box to box, I didn't know.
Because if you look at it for France, right, he was kind of box to box. He wasn't expected to sit in a double pivot. We always played him in a double pivot with one of them, and so you're just using him wrong. I remember at one point they put him on the left wing. All they had him on the left wing. Yeah,
that was crazy.
And it was like, just get rid of him.
I can't remember what game it was.
You don't know how to use it. There's no point. I'm telling you now, Pogba had come to you guys, Kofi, and the Klopp. He'd have balled out.
He would have done
bits. He'd have done bits.
It would have filled the gaps that probably Wijnaldum would have done.
Right, there you go.
Because that's the type of player that he is. He gets to that box to box and he creates and he's efficient in his ball retention as well.
Yeah, exactly. Klopp would have got him in the right headspace to say, right, Paul, I need your box to box. You don't. So I've got my double pivot. Go work your magic with the way you're front three with Salah and Mane. He would have killed it at Liverpool. Absolutely. But boyhood club. I'll come back to my boyhood club. I think he was blinded by he was mugged off. You know what I mean? Ed Woodward mugged him off because, like you say, okay, but McTominay and Fred. That's what you're giving me to work with. You know what I mean? If he'd gone to Madrid or Barcelona, he would have been in a decent midfield to just go work. Because remember, the French midfield was a bad boy midfield,
Yeah, definitely. Totally different player. Totally different player for France.
And you saw his attitude when he got on the plane to France and you see him posting, he was hyped. You didn't see that so much for United. When he was going to play for France, you're like, it's a different Paul Pogba. We never got that at Old Trafford on the second time around.
Maybe, as you said, maybe because all these promises were made to him and they didn't come to fruition. And so he's like, you know what, bro? If you ain't gonna give, show me, or the promises that you made, why should I come and ball out for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it almost like he got this tag of looking like lazy and not wanting, like, you know, like he didn't care, didn't want to be there kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
And I think it was Souness that labelled him lazy, and then the press just jumped on it. Yeah. It only takes is one person. It's like anything. It takes one person to tell you that you're lazy at work. And everyone says, "Oh yeah, you got to watch Dale. You got to watch Norms. They're lazy guys, you know."
But that's it. You're tagged with that. You're tagged with that.
Lazy. You chat about. I'm always on time for work.
Totally different player. Anytime he played international for his side,
totally different player. Totally different player.
Totally different player. Okay, let me finish with this then, and this is I suppose we ask ourselves here, and maybe look at some other clubs and just say who has been the best transfer by this season, in your opinion. Put it in the chat, people, as well. Who has been the best transfer by this season? Based on, I'm not going to even look at stats or anything like that because I haven't got the stats to look at. So if we was to just do the eye tests and you're looking at, maybe let's look at the our clubs right down to say to Tottenham. Big up to you, Diego, bro.
Yes, Diego. What are you saying, my guy?
Yes, Diego.
You know, no, you got to look at Maddison. I think Maddison's hit the ground running at Spurs. Ooh, Rice to a point. I think Rice has kind of handled that pressure of that big tag all right, you know, Norms, to be fair.
Man. Yeah, I like
I don't think he's had any shockers.
He's had two good games.
Oh, get out of here, mate. Get out of here.
Fair enough. Kofi, I stand corrected, bro. I stand corrected, Kofi.
Yeah, yes, Diego, man. Madison or Rice, man.
Yeah, Diego to me.
Slobberside's
to me, man.
Yeah, he has.
Slobberside's had better games than Rice.
Who?
Slobberside, yeah, he has, you know. He has. He's played very well. And I never even heard of him, Kofi. That's the joke. I never even heard of him. And I think he's played all right, you know, Kofi. I think.
Listen.
He's done well. It's Liverpool, man. There's a lot of pressure there.
Exactly.
Same as Rice, to be fair, Norman. When you go for that much money, even though I like to put the money aside because Rice never told Arsenal to pay that money for him. You know what I mean? I always look at the wages and say, right, if I'm paying you 400 bags a week, I need more. Forget about what we bought you for. This is what I'm paying you on a weekly basis. Because that's not on me if you overpay. Man United overpay for every single player, Norm. That's not on the players. So as much as Anthony's getting flack, I'm more concerned that we're paying him over 200 bags a week, and that's what you're giving me. Forget about the 82 million or 95 euros or whatever it was. Right? Forget about that because we know he was going to be 45 at the beginning of the window and he was 85 at the end of it. Because we're mugged, you know what I mean? That's United. But when I'm giving you a nice 300k or whatever, 250, 300k a week, you have to perform for me. That's a lot of money, my guy. Yeah.
So but to be honest, Maddison, I mean,
he played well, isn't he?
He is.
And I actually hinted that, and I think JP said, "Nah, I don't want Maddison." I'll be like, "I like him, bro. I like him over Mount." If you said to me, Mount or Maddison, let me take Maddison.
Kai,
and he was cheaper as well. He was cheaper, Norm. Because they got relegated. That's what I was saying to Jason. We'll get him on the cheap.
That man will ball out.
Him or Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes gone to Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Man. It's like, why wouldn't you have gone for one of them players from Leicester? Why wouldn't you have?
Yeah.
Forget the defensive players, the attacking players. They were decent, you know? The striker at Forest. Yeah.
Who's that? Is that
the black guy, the tall black guy at Forest? He scored.
Was he bought
4 or 5 goals, didn't he?
Was he bought this season? I thought it was the season before. Or he was playing for them. I can't remember.
I think he was on loan when he came back.
Oh, right, okay.
Awawi or something like that. He's got a strange surname. Well, a surname that you can't just spell off the top of your head without seeing it. One of them surnames, isn't it? Forest.
If you put it, what's his name? I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah. Forest. I'll just get my old phone out here.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. What's the guy's name?
Anyone
does he come good? No, Havertz. Does Havertz come good?
Oh, mate, listen.
Does Mount come good?
He came off the bench against France yesterday with an assist for Sane.
Sane.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same with Mount. There was rumours that he wasn't injured, just that Ten Hag just pulled him out the firing line. Because remember, Ten Hag chased this guy at the beginning of the summer, and we thought we were going to walk away, and then suddenly we go back in with an improved offer. And I'm like, wow, okay. So they're saying that he just pulled him out.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they're bought. I think Nottingham Forest have bought the most amount of players this season. The striker, the one. If it's the one, is it Taiwo Anwani?
That's him. I think that's him. Yeah.
But I thought
was he there already?
He was there already.
Yeah, I thought they sent him out on loan, Norm.
No,
he came back from loan. No,
he was there already, mate. Because remember last season, who did he score against?
I think
it was Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Wasn't he? What's the name from you? Was it Liverpool or Man United? He came through your youth scouting system. Was it Liverpool? I'm sure it's Liverpool.
Oh yeah, it was. It was Liverpool. Ex-Liverpool youth system.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Nigerian striker.
Yeah, I mean they've got in that. They've got Divock Origi. He's coming, and man, mate. In terms of their strikers, they got Taiwo and Wenyi.
Yeah, they got Emmanuel Dennis as well.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony
Elanga. That's right. Yeah,
Emmanuel Dennis.
They got some pace merchants there, you know. Their front line, they got some pace merchants there, you know.
Quick.
Power and pace. Yeah. You got to watch them this season. Like on the counter attack, they could hurt you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look what they nearly done to us, and look what they nearly done to you as well, D. You know what I mean?
Get it?
But
they got five brothers there, you know.
Yeah.
In the attacking line, five brothers, you know, and they're all big, strong pace merchant guys. He was there. That's easy, but everyone, scoring.
Right, Diego.
Right, Diego there.
Really right. Listen, Maddison, definitely a big shout for Maddison. I would definitely put Rice in there myself.
Yeah.
Slobosly, you've got a very good shout. Slobosly. Casado hasn't lived up to his market value of 150.
And that's because he wasn't match fit, Norm. I think he stopped showing up, didn't he? Because he was trying to force that move.
Yeah, well, some say that it was the pressure of playing for Chelsea.
No, but wish Ed was here, but Chelsea ain't been relevant like that. Like there shouldn't be no pressure to go to Chelsea and slot in because the squad is so big.
Labia has not even been on the
bench. Labia's out injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Labia's out injured, mate.
Yeah, and it's the same with Haaland. You know what I mean? We saw a little bit against you guys.
It
looked promising. He played well for his country. So I don't want him coming back and saying that his back is twitching. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want you should have stayed home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just did like training at Man United and kept yourself match sharp. So it's going to be interesting who comes back and who's unscathed for the weekend after the Newcastle duty.
I had a little bit of a skip with Gabriel Magalhaes, but but it was the game. They played. I think they played Peru.
They played Peru today. 1-0 because he got called up later because of players that got injured or whatever. Did he get called up straight away?
No, I think he got called up straight away.
Did he? Okay. Because remember when Anthony got sent, then they called up Jesus. That's it. Yeah. But Jesus be behind Anthony, man, in the Brazil squad.
But he had like strapping an ice pack around his thigh, like a thigh injury. But he trained with the Brazil team. I don't know if he played yesterday because I didn't get to see any of the highlights. But hopefully, as you say, our players will all come back unscathed, ready for this weekend games. We've also put in our game week 5 predictions for this week. So I won't show the table. I did show the table last week, Cole. I don't know if you actually watched the playback. You got Big D at the top. I think Ez second and Chile, and then myself, you, and I'm in 5th place. If Shevchenko, Tomiyasu, Kibria pick up injuries, we are done out here. Absolutely.
Yeah, he came on in the 68th minute for Brazil.
Okay, cool.
It was a U Saga.
And as Craig said earlier on in the chat, we haven't won at Everton. We played them this weekend. We haven't won at Everton in 6 seasons. When we played them last season, Everton won a downer. They got in Sean Dyche. We end up losing that game 1-0. Damari, no, was it 1-0 or 2-1? I can't remember. But Damari Gray got the winner, basically. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? So, look, this season, I know, D, you put in a prediction for us to win that game 3-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it 3-0?
Yeah, 3-0.
So your prediction is right. We do need to get a result against them this weekend. Liverpool away to
They've just been awful, Norm. They've just been awful.
They've been awful, but they were awful They were awful last season, and they still beat us. Whatever, one goal. I think it was 1-0. So we can't go up there complacent. We got to go up there and do the job. So I'm hoping, as I said, all our players come back unscathed, and we should be able to beat them because they are terrible. They lost. What's his name? Used to play for Arsenal. What's the guy that used to play for Arsenal? He's got
Iwobi.
Iwobi.
Yeah. What, he's injured?
No, they sold him to Fulham.
Oh yeah. Last minute, yeah.
But they've got a couple of players. The guys that the player that was on loan at Tottenham. And what happened? He was meant to go to Everton last season, and he ended up going to Tottenham in the January transfer window. I can't remember his name. I think he's now at Everton. They've got a couple of players up front that are a little bit tasty, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're not brilliant defensively. They are quite big players. They're quite physical, so hopefully we can match them physically. But when you've got the likes of Havertz in your midfield, boy, he needs to be dropped on the bench, man. He needs to be put on the bench, taken out the firing line. That needs to happen.
It'd just be interesting to see how the players would be after internationals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because there's always an inconsistency that normally happens after it. Where players come back late and all that kind of stuff. Because this is what I hate about like them South Americans. They go and party rather than coming home. Like they're back in their country and their brethren call them and say, "Yeah, man, come for a drink." And then one drink leads to 10 drinks, and then you miss your flight, and then you know what I mean. It's all the foolishness there. And a lot of the players will take the club fines, just to go party in their own country. Trust me, they all do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get fined a week's wages. Yeah, I can afford it.
But it's obviously with the Champions League and Europa League coming back. I don't know if you guys. I know once we play Everton. I think we play PSV either on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. I can't remember.
Yeah, we fly. Yeah, we fly to.
You go to Bayern Munich, innit?
Yeah, we fly to Germany.
First game.
First game.
Oh, the two Bs, man. The two Bs.
Criminal, bro.
You're going to beat down twice.
If we lose to Brighton and then Bayern Munich,
oh boy,
he's under a lot of pressure there, no.
Yeah.
Well,
but the truth is,
Kane is going to be rubbing his hands like.
Yeah, but the truth is, I don't think Man United have any money to fire him. I said, pay him off his contract. So I think that might be saving grace that we're broke. So even if he thinks
it's
of the
strange, you're saying Man United are broke. It really does.
They're broke. They're broke.
The narrative I think
we've used all our avenues of credit to strengthen this team. I don't think there's no money there. That's why we had to do the loan for Amrabat. You're like, surely we got 21 million somewhere, 25 million catching dust to just pay that outright for this guy. Nope, we got to negotiate something. Get out of it. We're Man United, man. What is that?
Well, listen. Well, look. Big games this weekend, followed by European Europe. In terms of Champions League, Europa, and then the big North London derby, where Tottenham come to Arsenal the following week. Angie Ball, Tottenham are playing really well. Maddison is doing really well. Son is playing well. That pressure of Kane not being in the side, and not only that, Kane did come out. Let me just quickly finish with this. Kane came out and basically said, I don't know if it was a dig at them or what, but he was almost saying there's no pressure to win at Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? He kind of came and said, he's at Bayern Munich. You know, he has to go there. They have to win, regardless of them being the best club there. They have to win. They're known for winning trophies, so the pressure is more. Yeah. Whereas he kind of said that basically, if you lose, there's no pressure. There's no pressure, and he wanted to play at a club. You know, I don't know if he said better players, but obviously playing in competition like the Champions League is obviously
more ambition,
more ambition.
More ambition for sure.
But listen, at the moment, Tottenham are playing well. They're currently sitting third, I think, in the league. Second, I can't remember. West Ham are doing quite well as well. So you know what I mean. But look, after 10 games, we'll see where we're at. And we'll see, what Christmas brings. But right now, Man City playing in second, third gear. I don't even think they've got out of that yet. They're going to be a tough team to catch and beat. Bro, I don't know. Haaland.
We just have to stick.
Haaland needs to just get a little bit of a tweak, just a little tweak. Nothing too serious. Just keep
just like little hamstring tweak, little hamstring. you know. But you know what? But this is the truth though, as well. Though, if Haaland gets injured, it just makes fantasy league football interesting. Now,
it does.
Everyone now's got to pick a striker and hope that the form is good.
Well, listen, next week you'll be doing the what's going on fantasy call shout out.
Yeah, game week. So next week will be game week 5, won't it?
Game week 5.
Week 5,
So obviously, you got certain people that have moved up the table. They've taken our advice, like Jay. She's taken my advice and got Haaland in the team, so that's all good for her. I think she's sitting Malcolm X FC. Is that what she's known as? Sitting 12th in the league.
Yeah.
So she'll be banking on Haaland to go with another brace. I don't know if she's going to make him captain or what, but they're away to West Ham, a very tough game.
That's a tough game now, isn't it?
But I hope West Ham can do something.
On West Ham form, it's a tough game, isn't it?
Yeah, but I still think Man City
on Man City paper, it should be an easy game, but on West Ham form makes it a tough game, I think. Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And I don't know if Pep's back on the sideline though.
Say that again.
I don't know whether Pep is back on the sideline after his back operation.
I think he said he was going to be out for a couple of games. I think he might be back now. I think with the international break, I think he might be back.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's had the 2 games he missed and then 2 weeks. So he's been out a month basically.
Yeah.
And then
Diego saying just quickly, Liverpool have a good chance to make ground City, I reckon. So Diego's saying is basically that City are probably going to be the ones that challenge Man City and not Arsenal. I think he may have a very good point there.
You know what?
Whilst we got Apple on the side, I don't think we're doing anything.
Well, I look at it, Norm, and sorry, Carl, I look at it and I think Liverpool's firepower just makes them relevant, man.
Yeah,
you lot gonna score goals, Cole. My lord, you lot gonna score goals. You might leak some, but you are gonna score bare goals.
I just want us to have a consistent mid-season because we always kind of have like some problems between November and Christmas. So if we can iron out those, then maybe we'll stand in a chance.
And it's your squad depth. Because obviously you got Europa League. It's your squad depth. Because when you look at your bench,
it looks a little bit frail.
And the thing is, in the Europa League, right, you're going to play on some crappy pitches.
Yeah.
I always say that
far flung.
Because you see that our injuries, right? Our injuries are from these artificial pitches in pre-season. You know, they take a real bad and this happens because the colder countries that you go to in the Europa League, they play on artificial pitch because they can't sustain the grass because the weather's too rubbish. So the AstroTurf ain't the one turf. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm not playing Salah until we get to the knockout stages. I'm not playing him in the group.
Klopp will be smart in terms of
he's gonna rotate. He's gonna rotate.
Yeah. I'm saying, Mo, you're not playing until we get to the knockout stages, bro. And then hopefully you're gonna be on better pitches then, because it's gonna be the teams that are in like the mainland bigger leagues that have got through to the Spain and Italy and all that. And the Dutch teams. But when you got to go to some of these weird places and play on them artificial pitches, man, always. And what happens is that next game you're all leggy because of playing on that crappy pitch. So the next Premier League game on a Sunday or on a Monday, you're all leggy. It's That's why you got a Champions League. You got to qualify for Champions League, Kof, because my lord.
Yeah, just last thing here. Diego saying with Klopp's agent now confirming he's not taking the Germany job and Salah staying, Liverpool will be focused. So I think with all of that madness out the way,
yeah,
they can get focus. And I think Klopp feels that he could do something this year. Listening to him talking,
you know what?
You know, I mean, he's looking to rebuild this.
I still rate him.
Yeah,
you know what? Despite all the aggro in the transfer market, I kind of feel, even though we didn't get the players that we really wanted, we still got
Lavia, yeah.
We still got good transfers in. So I'm kind of confident like we can really work something. Yeah.
I think if you get one or two injuries, then do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So you know what I mean, that's what I said. You should have sold my man. Yeah, 200 million bags, bro.
It was so late though, Norm. So late in the window. You know what I mean?
I know.
Even though the front line is heavy, but I just think you got all that money, you can't spend it. You know what I mean? Or you might panic by it, which you don't want to do.
At least get to January, and then you know maybe
take an Ivan Toney.
But mind you, saying that you don't really need an Ivan Toney because as I said, you got Nunes, Darwin. Nunes, it's not Noodles no more now, you know, Kof. It's Nunes.
Yeah, but the thing is, what Salah gives, like say, from his side, and obviously you got Trent putting in the balls to, cause a little bit of problem. It's gonna be hard if Salah goes because obviously that pace you got to understand he's got pace as well.
Yeah.
Salah running out of pace, strength. He's got a lot going on. So even if he doesn't score, his creation is massive.
And he doesn't lose the ball a lot.
Yeah.
There's always some level of final production. Yeah. He's keeping the ball. He has a lot of take-ons. Sometimes he can be a bit greedy, as you know that, Kof, as well, where you think he should have squared that and he puts his latest through it. But
at least he makes the defenders think in critical times.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So you give me a Salah on our right hand side. That's happy days for me. Even at that age, I'm taking him. You know what I'm saying? Over Anthony and Palestri and whoever else we're going to play out there, Mount and Bruno and nah, love it.
Well, people, listen, we've come to the end of the show. I'd like to thank Big D, what the fuck, Kofi Klopp. Thank everybody in the chat. Big up to all of you. Thank you for contributing. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. If you are new, next week we're gonna see what happens. Will Anthony be reinstated? Will Sancho take that right hand spot?
Yeah.
Will the Glazers sell the club?
It's way too many question marks, isn't it?
It's too many question marks.
Way too many question marks.
But listen, the main thing is international football is over.
It's over for now,
The Premier League is back, and I'm looking
Come on, Brazil.
Come on, Arsenal. Let's do this. Let's go to Everton and let's
go Liverpool. Let's do this.
First time in 6 years.
Yeah, you know you gotta do it, man.
Hit that like button, subscribe and share. Good night, take care, and
all right, guys. Look after.
See you guys later.
Yeah.